Hello and welcome to this episode of Huepy-B-Outdoors. In this episode I'm going to do an enchilada casserole. I made one about a week ago and then I wasn't quite happy with it. It was okay, but I figured out a couple of things that I'd like to do to change the recipe up, and we're going to debut it here today. So enjoy this enchilada casserole in a 10-inch Dutch oven. This can also be done in a Dutch oven in your oven or any other kind of pot that you cook in the oven. But since we're Huepy-B-Outdoors, we're going to do it in a Dutch oven. Enjoy this video. Some of the equipment that I use with my Dutch oven is, of course, my Dutch oven, my 10-inch Dutch oven. This one's dirty from the stromboli I did yesterday. I also keep a whisk broom for brushing ash away, and then a little holder to stick my lid on or to raise the pot a little further up above the fire. I also have a pair of tongs that I use for working with the coals, and then a chimney to get these coals started. Now I'm going to start this recipe out by browning 2 pounds of ground beef. I took a large yellow onion and 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to put all my heat on the bottom, and I'm going to brown that meat up real good. I've got all my coals on the bottom. I want all my heat down below right now. And we'll see if we can do this casserole in one burn. See what happens. We're going to have a few visitors. The enchilada sauce came in a can. The black beans came in a can. The corn came in a can. Every time I open a can, my cats think it's about them. What I'm using right now is a 50-50 mix of pork and beef. It's still 90% lean. You can use any ground meat. Venison would be good, hamburger would be good. Magellan, you just go ahead and enjoy that little snack. I'm going to be getting the end result. I am in my wilderness kitchen, one of my wilderness kitchens, aka my yard, thus all the friendly visitors. Here, have a little more, dude. Let's check this pot and see what's happening. I do like my lid lifter. My last video, I shared that I use a set of channel locks frequently. They just make a good all-round camp tool. But yeah, they're starting to brown. We need to get some more stuff in there cooking. Now you could change this up. Last week I started it on the side burner of the gas grill and then finished it up with the Dutch oven coals on top. And that was just to speed things along, make this initial process happen a little faster. I'm adding 1 package of taco seasoning. I reserved some of the water that came in the corn and then put that in. I feel like I need a little bit of moisture on this. I threw some of the liquid in from my corn. It was mostly corn in the can, but about half a can of liquid I reserved just in case I needed some more moisture. And what I didn't think about, I could have thrown my tomatoes and diced chilies in to get that little bit of moisture. But we'll see what happens. The fire on the bottom was just to go ahead and brown the meat and get those onions ready. Mainly this thing's going to bake for 30-40 minutes or an hour. It's a Dutch oven. It could go for a while, but I think I'm ready for the rest of my ingredients. And then we'll set her up to bake. In addition to our 2 pounds of ground meat, large yellow onion, 3 cloves of garlic, and we have visitors. I told you they hear cans and they think it's about them. From last week's recipe, I decided to add some black beans and some corn. And this might have protesters showing up on my porch telling me I'm a racist. Hey, for those of you that don't understand it, or for some of my European or over-the-seas watchers, it's a long story. But we really got a crazy political unrest going on in our country. It's absurd. It's silly. It's something else. That's all the further I'm going to go, or I will have protesters on my porch. We're going to add also a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies, and then my enchilada sauce. And you can use 2 15-ounce cans or 1 28-ounce can, however it comes. So let's go ahead and get this in the pot. I lost my battery, but I just added my tomatoes and green chilies. Gotta watch my weight distribution on the chimney that I was using. Gonna add my corn and my black beans. Oh, this might be like my cowboy bean recipe. This is a good hearty meal. It's going to be a meal by itself, and I think I'm going to have a full pot. My 14-inch Dutch oven is just too big. I'll have to see if they make a 12. And I would like to have a small personal one, like a 8. My 14 is a total beast. Oh yeah, it's gonna get full. Hey, we'll see what happens. I might have to take half of this stuff and save it freeze it for another time. Yeah, because that's gonna be a lot of food. And I don't feel like breaking out. I don't feel like breaking out the 14-inch Dutch oven. Yeah, we'll be putting half of this away for another day. Well, let's get her baked up. We're going to move most of them to the top now because we're going into baking mode. And we'll have a few on the bottom. I wanted to take a quick look at this with you guys. And again, we're going to have visitors. I was saying that instead of making this in a 1-hour process, you can do an enchilada in 1 hour. I'm enjoying the process and taking my time doing this. But as I was checking on it, it looks like any kind of rich camp stew or chili, and it tastes very good. So I let it cook a little longer so the beans would cook down, and what I was going to say, in honor of some of my Italian friends from the New Jersey, New York area, or anybody else that likes to dip when you're making red sauce, this is for you. You might know what I'm talking about, you might not. It's a thing amongst an Italian family I know. When they're making red sauce, they like to dip. That is good. In fact, they always have to make extra sauce because so much dipping goes on. You know, they need leftover for their meatballs or their spaghetti or whatever they're making. Those beans are cooked. We're ready for the next phase of this project. Not gonna matter. I brought the biggest pot that I could find. I know it's not very bushcrafty, but I gotta make a lot of room. You want to take enough out that you're just lining the bottom of your pot. That's about good. And folks, this is where the magic is going to begin to happen. You can use flour, corn, tortilla. I'm using corn. The flour I used last week, well, it was a different recipe. I really even can't comment on it. Just gonna layer these in here. Kind of go around. I can layer them in such a way that they're just taking up most of that space. Ooh. I told you this is where the magic happens. I'm using a 4-style cheese, shredded cheddar, Monterey Jack, Asadero, and Quasi Quesadilla cheeses. Alright, now another layer of enchilada sauce. Hey, I might surprise myself. This might turn out into one big batch. Alright. Some more flour tortillas. Now I went almost a double layer on the first one because I think these are going to help soak up a lot of the juices and liquid. The flour tortilla tried to. I think the corn tortilla is going to do a little better job, but we'll see together. Doesn't that look good? You know what? That's just a little bit left in there. I think that's gonna go. Now, one little final layer. I'm not gonna go crazy. And the cheese. Let's get it all on there. Ooh, that is a full pot. I don't know if it's gonna cook down or cook up. Let's find out. Now I'll check it in 10 minutes and see what's going on. Now, when you're making enchiladas, sometimes it's always good to cook with a little bit of wine. But I didn't put any in the enchilada mix. To my friend Kimber Bushcraft, look him up. He's got a great bushcraft channel. Kimber Bushcraft, Skol, my friend. I think I lost video of it, but I was going to say lastly, top with a little bit of low-fat sour cream. Sour cream, if that's your preference. Low-fat yogurt would be good, plain yogurt. Cottage cheese or even ricotta cheese. Enjoy this recipe. This is just about perfect. Enchilada casserole. I wanted to take a minute to tell you that if you like this video, check out some of my other Dutch oven cooking videos. I also have some videos with some outdoor skills and some camping and cooking videos. Thank you for keep coming back and checking out this channel. Thank you for watching Huepy-B-Outdoors.